This is the Greensboro, the event for Bernie Sanders. Who are you guys and why are you here?
We're here to support Bernie's cause.
And
we believe in his message, and we're from Charlotte, North Carolina.
My name's Britt. I'm here from Charlotte, and I came today so I've always been a big supporter of Bernie Sanders. As long as you are paying your share, make however much money you want to make, pay your share, right? And fix our roads, make sure that we can get across the country on a train, and provide medical care for people who can't provide it for themselves. I don't think it's rocket science.
The reason I'm here is because I'm a nurse practitioner and I want healthcare for all, and that is my most passionate issue. And I think Bernie is really the only person out there really seriously fighting for Medicare for all, healthcare for all. In North Carolina, we're going to lose at least 6 rural hospitals, if not more. We're going to be losing $40 billion a year in healthcare because of the cuts to Medicaid. So it's going to be catastrophic.
So this is our volunteers. Some of our volunteers were all meeting here. And so these are all of us crazy Bernie supporters who actually want to make the world a better place. So who are you and what are you doing here?
My name is Nancy. I'm from Burlington. I am so depressed about everything that's happening. And so I watched Bernie yesterday in West Virginia, and he was quite inspiring. And I'm thinking if he can turn West Virginia, maybe we can turn North Carolina. But I'm so afraid that this has gotten out of control. So we have to pull together. We have to pull together as Americans to stop what's going on.
That's great. Now, where are you from?
Kernersville. I'm from Kernersville, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I have Selena. Selena is my partner in crime.
So we've all been given our assignments. I'm going to be part of the group that is going to be showing people the balconies.
The messaging is incredibly consistent. And I know there are probably people in Washington that would say that's not good. We want to see you evolve with the times or go wherever the moment is leading you. But the fact that he has always been this person and there's not any deterioration or erosion of his values over time, that is the appeal, and that's going to appeal to a broad base.
Well, it seems like the times have evolved to him because so much of the things that he'd said for so long, people are saying Bernie was right about these things.
Listen, I have family that in 2016, 2020 primaries, I talked their ear off about voting for him. For whatever reason, just couldn't bring themselves to do it. When AOC won, said she is the left counterweight to Trump, the problem in the opposite direction. Today, I've had recent conversations with the same people say these are the only people that seem to have their heads on straight.
Right. And they're the only ones that really can put their money where their mouth is because their money is coming from their actual supporters, the working class people. Yes. Their money is not coming from these billionaires or these corporations.
Everybody's going to flock in because Greensboro is a church town.
Everybody
coming out from church, they're going to be over here probably, I predict, the next 5 to 10 minutes.
We get to hear a new sermon by Bernie.
That's right, that's right.
Because I know very well how it feels to come here as a child and to feel like you study to really love this country. You then fall in love with this country, and then all of a sudden they tell you that you don't belong. That you don't belong. But guess what? I don't know where else I belong because I've been here my entire life.
And let me just say, this Muslim girl from North Carolina is beyond proud to stand beside a Jewish man from Brooklyn.
UNCG Black Society Gospel Choir. Stephen Cole, Erica Andiola, Nina Lum, and John Green for their really great remarks. Thank you very much. On this Saturday afternoon. Oh yeah, it's Sunday. We were in Charleston on Saturday, I forgot that. It's been a long week, forgive me. And in many ways, in America today, we are living in two separate worlds. In one world, we have more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had in the history of the United States of America. Today in America, and it's almost unbelievable, I'm going to give you some facts, they're true. Hard to believe, but they are true. In America today, you got one guy, our friend Mr. Musk. One man owns more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. The top 1% today own more wealth than the bottom 93%. The CEOs of large corporations make 350 times what their workers make. But it is actually even worse than that. Because these billionaires and these large corporations are stashing trillions and trillions of dollars in offshore secret accounts. There are some estimates, nobody knows, but there are some economists who think that literally 25% of the value, GDP of the entire world is stashed away by these billionaires. And it is not just, and again, I want to just tell you what you're not going to hear very often. And that is, it's not just massive income and wealth inequality, that's bad. It is unprecedented concentration of ownership. You know what that means? It means that in sector after sector, financial services, agriculture, whatever it may be, you're seeing a handful of large corporations control what is being produced and the prices that you pay. So if you want to know why you're paying high prices, that's one of the reasons. That is what you are looking at today. Massive income and wealth inequality, massive levels of concentration of ownership, massive control of the media by the billionaire class. But that ain't all. They're not content to owning the economy. They now own our political system as well. So let me be very clear. This is something I know a little bit about because it's the world that I live in as a U.S. Senator. The current political system in America is corrupt. As a result of the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, What we have seen in recent years is billionaires pouring unbelievable amounts of money into both political parties. So if you want to know why our friend Mr. Musk became the most powerful person in the government for a few months, until they had a lover's squabble, I have the feeling they'll reconcile. The reason is not complicated. You can do it too. All you got to do is give $270 million to the candidate of your choice. Not a problem. Fork over the money. That guy gets elected. You become the most powerful person in government. And it's not just in the Democratic Party. We have seen, in the Republican Party, we have seen that in the Democratic Party as well. 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. You all know what living paycheck to paycheck is about? Now, I grew up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck. And all over this country, right now, as we speak, right here, people are wondering. I was just the other day, we were in a town, Saturday, we were in a very rural area in West Virginia, in Mingo County. And this is a town, an area where 74% of the people voted for Trump, which is a whole other story. And I asked the people there, we had hundreds and hundreds of people coming out to the meeting. And I said, tell me, what does living paycheck to paycheck mean here in Mingo County, a very rural, poor community in West Virginia? This woman gets up, she's holding a baby in her arms, and she says, it means that I cry when I go to the grocery store, because she can't afford to buy the quality food that she wants for her kids, or even enough food. What it means is that all over America today, people are worrying about what happens if my landlord raises my rents, because I'm already paying 40 or 50% and I can't afford to pay anymore. What happens if my kid gets sick or my mom needs a prescription drug that she can't afford? What happens? What happens if my car breaks down and the mechanic tells me it's $1,000 to get fixed and I can't afford to fix it and I can't get to work? And if I can't get to work, I'll get fired. And what happens to my family then? That is the stress that tens of millions of Americans are living under today, and it's an issue that we hardly ever discuss. But it's not what's just happening right now. The reason I think there is such stress and anger all over this country is that working people understand that despite working so hard, in some cases working crazy hours, crazy schedules, they're not getting ahead. And here's a fact, again, that we don't talk about very much. Over the last 50 years, as all of you know, there has been an explosion in technology. And that explosion in technology has resulted in every worker in America being far more productive, producing more than he or she did in a similar position 50 years ago. Now, what common sense might suggest is that if you are a worker today producing a lot more than somebody did 50 years ago, you would be making a lot more money. Anyone think that's true? It's not. This is really quite incredible, and it just tells you a lot about what's going on in the psyches of the American people. What a study also showed from Rand Corporation is during that same period, there was a $75 trillion transfer of wealth from the bottom 90% to the top 1%. I have a hard time understanding how anyone can vaguely consider themselves to be a moral person when you're willing to do terrible things to working class people, take food away from hungry children, or tax break for yourself. I don't know how it happened, but I got pushed up front when Trump was inaugurated. And I was like a few feet away from him when he took the oath of office. And as some of you may remember, I want everybody to remember this. Right behind him were Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, Mr. Zuckerberg, 3 wealthiest guys in America. Right behind them, seated, were another 13 billionaires who Trump had nominated to head various government agencies. You know, in this crazy moment in history, I reflect a little bit about what I learned in the 8th grade when we studied American history. And I remember Abraham Lincoln being on the battlefield of Gettysburg a few days after that terrible, terrible battle which helped finally end slavery in America. And Lincoln stood there just a few days after tens of thousands of people had died. He said, you know, what our vision for America is, so that these people did not die in vain, is a government of the people and for the people. That is what we believe in, not a government of the billionaires, for the billionaires, and by the billionaires. That is the struggle that we are engaged in right now. But it is not just good enough for us to take on Trump every day of the week, which is what we've got to do. What we have also got to do, where the Democratic Party has been woefully inadequate, is present an alternative vision to the American people. You know, throughout world history, going way, way back, people every day have woken up struggling. How do I feed my kids? How do I stay alive? That has been the human struggle. We are at a point in world history where for the first time we can guarantee to every man, woman, and child a decent and good standard of living. Utopian thinking. You know, that's not me waking up in the morning, oh, wouldn't it be great if we didn't have people who are hungry or sleeping out on the streets. That is not utopian thinking. We can do it if we have the right people and the right policymakers making those decisions. An alternative vision to Trumpism. What is an alternative vision to the Democratic establishment? Number 1, health care is a human right. Before you, Democrat or Republican, you ask them, they want your vote. You say, tell me why we are the only major country on earth, despite spending twice as much per capita on health care, we're the only major country not to guarantee health care for all people. And you tell them they don't get your vote unless they're prepared to stand up for Medicare for all single persons. This is not even a question of money. We are spending more than enough money to guarantee health care to all people. The problem is the current health care system is not designed to provide quality care for all. It's designed successfully to make huge profits for the insurance companies and the drug companies. And when that candidate, Democrat or Republican, comes before you, wants your vote, you ask him or her, Are you prepared to cut the cost of prescription drugs in half in this country so we don't pay more than other countries? Again, not a radical idea. In some cases, we're paying 10 times more for the same drug as they do in other countries, while the drug companies make outrageous profits. And then there's another issue. We're talking now about the basic necessities of life. Healthcare. What else? Education. So what should we be doing in a civilized, democratic society, living in a highly competitive global economy? What do? What should we do when we say we love America, but somehow we don't love the children who are the future of America? So here's a wonderful idea. Let us love our kids. Let's end the embarrassment of having the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth. And when we talk about education, again, this is not a radical idea. It exists right now in other countries around the world. But this is a moment where we can't sit it out. We can't live in despair. We've got to do what Americans have always done in difficult moments of our history. Stand up, fight back, and win. We can defeat these oligarchs. Thank you very much.
We just got our picture taken with him, and he's off to an event.
All right, volunteers, come with me, please.
Asheville.